me, valuing a business is no different to going for a health check, or if you're somebody who enjoys the exercise, putting on a heart rate monitor and going and getting a full ECG done. It's something that you can get away without doing. But if you're really serious about outperforming, if you're really serious about wanting to understand what you've achieved rather than just spending years wearing out your shoe leather, but saying, okay, how much have I grown? What can I do? Where are the areas of weakness? What does the valuation show me about what I've achieved? And equally, what does it show me about what I haven't achieved? And because it leads into then going, if one day I'm going to build up an asset and I'm not going to have to wear out my shoe leather for the rest of my life, but rather sell that asset on, what's realistic? What target do I want? What point do I want to get to in terms of value where I say I'm calling it a day at that level? And for that, you need a valuation. The core asset in a business valuation is typically the trail book. The starting point is always to take a look at the trail book. And whilst you can do it manually, if it's a small business, you can probably take out an Excel spreadsheet. We advocate that you avoid top-down rule of thumb valuations that simply give broad general estimates. Rather, what you should do is you should find a valuer who is skilled specifically in valuing mortgage trail books or financial planning trail books or rent rolls, and then have them value every single underlying loan or mortgage or rent roll so that you can build it up piece by piece. That's the best way to go about doing it. The first thing that I've always find is that people have to have a sense of reality. So if people come to us and say, well, I think my business is worth X, and we say, okay, how did you arrive at that? Oh, I don't really know, but that's what I think it's got to be worth for me to sell it. That's not an indication of value. Value is what a willing buyer will pay a willing seller. And in order to determine that, you need to look at both what the marketplace is paying, and you need to look at trends in terms of where things are going. Are they going up over time as mortgage books have gone up over time? Are they possibly going sideways to downwards as we've seen with some financial planning books? So you have to get a sense of context to that individual valuation, and then you have to have the tools to look at the components within that book and say, how does this book compare on its merits to other books out there? What are 4 or 5 key measures, be they runoff, arrears, clawbacks, size of loans, dispersion of lenders that are used? How do those criteria stack up compared to other books that are out there? Because that's the best way to do it, and that's the mistake that people make. They don't go about turning it into a science. They try to be objective, and then finally, to make things worse, once you've got a figure or a range for that large tangible asset, the next element is goodwill. And brokers struggle with the fact that they might have created the nicest brand in the world, the catchiest URL, but people don't buy that. They buy the tangible ability to make money. So unless your IP or your systems or your processes can clearly demonstrate an increased ability to make money for the buyer, people aren't going to pay you for that. And that's where people go wrong in valuing their businesses. They ascribe too much value to the intangibles and not enough focus on the tangible book component of their valuation.